Hey, this is Sabine Tegura here with the Theater in Russia class from St. Olaf College. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the performances we've seen here in St. Petersburg called Oedipus Rex or Edip-царь. And first, I guess I'm going to start off by talking about the theater. The first thing I noticed was that the seating was incredibly uncomfortable. We were crammed into this little room in these little black chairs with no armrests, just squeezed together. And actually, after the performance, I realized that we were in a balcony of sorts and that there was an entire seating area just below us, just behind us, and that the director could have used to stage its performance. So I'm curious as to why he chose this tiny little venue to, showcase his performance. Perhaps it's because, a smaller space creates a more intimate environment and we're able to connect more with the actors or just like experience a little more of what's going on stage, such as we can smell the smoke, filtering throughout the air, that kind of thing. Perhaps. But back to the performance. So there was 3 actors, 2 men and 1 woman. And the play began with some ancient tribal music playing in the background. You were just transported back in time. And then bam! Around the World starts playing. It's an English song. It's incredibly catchy. And if you haven't heard it, it goes like la 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 la. It goes around the world just la 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 la. It's all around the world, a magic melody. You want to sing with me, just la 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 la. The music is the key, and etc. etc. So while this is going, the actors are theatrically enacting the major tragedy of the story, and they are using props. Their use of props is absolutely hilarious. They have this one cylindrical object which is long, and which they use in various ways to represent various things. So first, Oedipus is born, and it represents the umbilical cord tying him to his mother, which they cut off, and then Oedipus's father throws him out, and then Oedipus kills his father with a scythe, and then the cylindrical object comes back. Only this time, it's a penis. It's a penis. Basically, Oedipus holds it to his crotch, and then his mother takes the other end, and then they jump up and down, and it's totally crass, it's crude, but it's also just hilarious. I mean, try to imagine this. It's absolutely ridiculous. You really can't help but laugh. And then Oedipus' mother realizes what she's done, and she uses the cylindrical objects as a rope to hang herself, and then Oedipus takes that, and then uses both ends to, he connects them to his eyes, to represent him gouging out his eyes, which is how the play ends. So basically you have the entire tragedy shown to you in the first 5 minutes of the play in this really comical manner, and it's really like one of the best 5 minutes of theater that I have seen here in Russia. It was really funny. Every action was choreographed perfectly to the music, and I was just really happy to hear some English. That was cool. So that was the first 5 minutes. The middle of the play was a little more difficult for me to follow because it involved a lot of dialogue, and I don't know, I wasn't really familiar with it. While the actors conversed, one of the important things that they did was pose like this, like Greek statues. They would have conversations just looking off kind of like this. It was really interesting, just to kind of bring us into that time period. I think it was a really good directorial choice. And also, another aspect of the acting that they used was facial expressions. During the chants and chorus parts that were interspersed throughout the play, like I said, the music was key to this production. So they had these chorus parts, and they would make these strange expressions, like as they were chanting, like dun 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 dun. It's really kind of weird. It's a little bit distracting, but it fits because, as Mark explained later in class, they were imitating Greek masks at that point. So once you realize that, it's really cool. I also really liked the end of the play when the drama unfolded and the prophecy was fulfilled. When Oedipus and the queen found out that they were mother and son, there was just a lot of dramatized horror and wailing, and the queen even threw up, which was a really good touch, I think. Aside from the acting, another aspect of the play that was noteworthy was the setting. The stage floor was covered in this thick white carpet sort of thing, which is, I guess, made to look like a desert floor. The play took place during the time of the plague, so everything was desolate. There were stones set up around the stage. And when the characters moved or reorganized the rock formations, dust would billow up and it would, rise, and you could tell that the earth was just dry and desolate, and it was, hard times. Very good. There were also stones tied up in ropes, above, they were tied up in ropes and hanging above the stage. And you come in and you're not really sure what's going on, but they are actually a beautiful symbol of just this weight that all the characters are under, the weight of the prophecy. It's like this cloud of doom, I guess, that's just hanging over everyone, and you can't escape it. And at the end, after the prophecy has been fulfilled, the boulders descend onto the stage floor, and Oedipus and his father and mother dance amongst them. And it's just, it's a really great way to represent how, they couldn't escape their destiny, and finally, they had to succumb to it, and I guess they're embracing it while they're dancing across the stage. They're dead though. But anyways. Finally, I'd like to wrap up with how the performance wrapped up with the curtain call. 1 second! So around the world started booming through the speakers again, and the actors danced across the stage as we clapped to the music. It was a really good way to leave the audience energized after a performance which itself had been energized, I think. And also, I think it was just a really great way to unify the audience, because we were clapping to one rhythm. The actors were dancing to that same rhythm, and we were all just, we were feeling the same beat, and it was just really powerful, I think. A really great way to finish. So, I guess I'm just going to finish with I don't know what to do. Just can't explain to you, I don't know what to say. Oh, not another word, just la la.